like these little ration bars. These emergency ration bars. They pack a lot of calories, and they come in little squares. You can actually break the squares off. This one has 6 squares, and break them off and put them in hot water or something too. It'll expand. Each one of these is like a meal, or at least will give you calories. And again, extend you for a couple more days on top of these. So this one, I typically keep about 5 or 6 meals in mine. This is a little light because who I'm making it for is going to make their adjustments to it the way they want it. So I'm just trying to throw in some food for now so it works. That's the pack. We're going to hopefully be able to fit all this in. In these packs, I tend to like it, put a tarp. That ends up being your tent with some stakes. That way you can use a tarp it up, stake it up. I've got some paracord here, which you can use to tie off stuff. But and then you can use, there's a space blanket right there. Space blanket you can use as a floor underneath the tent too, and then have your survival sleeping stuff to sleep on, all that underneath, and that'll give you a pretty good shelter. This is the pocket stove. These things are great. In one of these little tiny cans, they're not real big, so they fit pretty nice and stuff. You can get about 12, at least 12 cups of this thing full of water. So that would be 12 of these meals, plus whatever you're drinking. Heck, you could put hot cocoa in there somewhere if you wanted to do that. Wow, that is getting pretty violently bubbling. And that was in 3 minutes. Unbelievable. Okay, I turned it down a lot more. It is a lot cooler now. Kind of hard to hold this in the pan. So that's what works out really nice. Just since that's right there. Little net head. That's more for the summer. Right now it's winter, so this needs to, I try to adjust these for season, either winter or summer. Definitely it would have that net for summer. And in winter, you're going to want thicker gloves, thicker stuff, more for the cold, to try to endure the cold. And then I just threw that in, a saw. You could use an axe too. I don't have an axe in here. I also have no knives because the person I'm making this is going to get their own and pick their own. I think that's better. Let them decide what they want. Little poop shovel there in case you need to dig. And then, of course, the hygiene stuff where we talked about earlier. But, and there's your 2 emergency sleeping bivvies where you can wrap up in underneath everything else. So it's some shelter. Again, you're just trying to get home. Hopefully you're not so far you have to stay outside too many nights and go from there. And of course you have your water to clean all your water. Tom Sawyer water filters are really great. This is a mini. I like to squeeze a little bit more. I think it flows better, but the mini works good too. You got to work a little bit more at it. But again, this is just trying to get you home. You at least got clean water here. Along with that is the purge, which you run it backwards through here to clean the filter out. This thing will get you 100,000 gallons of water. I have a feeling it will break or something else will happen before you ever get to that point. Main thing is with these, you cannot let this freeze. Once you've used it, if it freezes, it's no good. You've just trashed it. So if you're out in the cold and you're using this, you need to put it in your body, on your body when you're sleeping to keep it from freezing. And one step further, chlorine tablets, kill any viruses or stuff. The Sawyer does a pretty good job of getting all the viruses out, but if you want to be absolutely sure it's clean, put a tablet in it too. I think you'd let it sit for about 30 minutes or something. That's good water at that point. One of the other things I like to carry is a canteen, something steel you can actually put in a fire and boil water to. It also is a place to put clean water. I like to carry one of these on mine. They come in different sizes and you can get, but it's also a handy thing. When they're empty, they're pretty light. but water is going to be crucial. So it's nice to have another harder surface thing that'll take water. Obviously, take the cap off when you want to boil it, or you're going to melt this plastic top. One of the other things, part of the food, that there'll be 2 bottles of water that are included in this pack. One thing about this water filter, it will only fit on something that has a lid like that. If you try to use Costco's water or cheap water that got the little bitty caps and stuff, it's not going to fit that. So that's why I put 2 of these. One will be for dirty water, one will be for clean water. And that way you've got, once you've drank it, you'll have 2 different containers to help out. Now, obviously, this is the dirty water. You just take that from wherever you're getting, or you can suck it through a straw and squeeze it through the filter. You got to make sure you got a bottle like that that'll fit it. And of course, this is a P38. These things are great. They'll open any can. Anyone in the military knows exactly what this is. If you're not in the military, this is a great thing. You can open any can up pretty easy with that. Nice to have. All right, we'll get to some miscellaneous stuff. We talked about the mirror, the hat. I like this whistle because it's got some cool stuff. Not because of its compass. That's a whole lot more better to use as a compass. But this whistle has a thermometer on the back of it, so you can tell how cold or how hot it is. That's why I like that whistle. Also has some other miscellaneous stuff. We talked about the shovel. And this is a fishing kit. It's actually a fishing kit and a sewing kit. I've got some hooks in here, some tires, a string line, bobbers. So you can actually fish if you get a stick and put it together. And then there's a needle threading stuff with a measuring tape in there too. So that makes for a nice little small thing. I also like to always carry a small gorilla tape. You never know what you may need to fix or repair with all this stuff if you break something. I always like to make sure I keep the medic kit right on the top of the bag so it's easy access and you can get right to it real quick. Everything fit in there. It's all set to go. We'll let it be in a nice little bag. Go back, put it back behind your car seat somewhere in the car, and just forget about it. And if something ever happens, you just grab it and go if you have to. Well, that's pretty much the whole layout of this one. Again, this is kind of a small one. Get home. It's got most of the stuff. I'll show you a picture of the list as well. Again, you can pause on. And if you have any questions, let me know. Hope you liked it and enjoyed it, and hope I helped out someone with building their own. Thanks a lot. Talk to y'all later.